What's good? It's your boy Fanon. Going to try to talk a little boxing. Canelo Alvarez withdraws from the Gennady Golovkin bout. It is a wrap. And I do not think a couple weeks ago when he tested positive, when the news came out that he tested positive, people would have thought that it would have gone here. But it went here, man. Yep, Corey Lee. Yep, that's the title of it, man. Canelo Alvarez withdraws from Gennady Golovkin bout. And it's a good thing, man. It's a good thing for boxing. Definitely a good thing for boxing. Oh, Christian, you said what? Yeah, you retracted that. I did not understand what that was when you said it. But yeah, man, it's a wrap. And then the other subject today is, another day and another excuse for Eddie Hearn, man. Man, I got to tell you, man, I think that dude is one of the most creative people that I've ever heard of, man. He's really a bright guy. Christian says wrong pace. I'm gonna pace Joshua and Parker's numbers. Heard they were trash. Oh yeah, man. I saw they did a video on him already, man. It was like 400. It was like let me pull him out, man. Let me pull them out. It was less than half of what Deontay Wilder's were. So, and that's the prime time one. It peaked. See, these motherfuckers be pulling some shit. First of all, what they said was it peaked at, this is the title, peaked at 483,000. Peaked my tail. First of all, that's the replay. That wasn't the live one. But when it originally aired, the peak audience was 379,000. So that's less than 100. That's 100,000 below the replay. And it averaged 346,000. In the nighttime, in the evening, it averaged 430,000. When they use that peak isn't real, man. Because the peak, if they're going to show the peak, then they need to show the low. You know what I mean? Denar Reed, what's good? Wrench gang, today is a good day. Yeah, because Deontay Wilder showed and proved, dog. It's all over. It all comes out in the wash when the numbers come out, man. And Anthony Joshua in the United States in prime time is just. Oh, what's up, Dana Jones? He said, enjoyed the lunchtime show. Was on the train from Baltimore to Fayetteville, North Carolina. Oh, that was good, man. I'm glad, man. That's why I'm trying to do this stuff a little longer than, some other channels. I just like to make, I know that there's a lot of people that like to listen to things in transit or when they're running or jogging or whatever. But I'm glad you enjoyed that, Dana Jones. But yeah, man, I'm not going to say the numbers were trash because they weren't quite trash. It was just less than Danny Garcia, less than Errol Spence Jr., less than Adrian Bronner, half of Deontay Wilder's. And so really, man, if I was the cats from if somebody at HBO is trying to get their hands on a heavyweight fighter, they'd be better getting their hands on Deontay Wilder and setting up Deontay Wilder with a bunch of soft touch fights and let him just knock everybody out. Because shoot, Anthony Joshua was just not that popular in the United States, man. For 9, I think we all would like to see GGG versus Charlo, but what's the likelihood? Not much. Because his next fight, he's going to fight on the 15th. Denar Reed said numbers out on ass juice. Not better than Deontay Wilder and Canelo pulled out. Oh, they're half of Deontay Wilder's. What's going on, haplotype? It's half. It's less than half. It's 1.1 million average to 400 in the prime time. This is what happened when it aired prime time. 430,000 compared to 1.1 million. Last time I checked, that's 670,000 people less than more than 670,000 more than Joshua. It's over twice. It's almost 150% of the number. It's not even close. It's a complete bashing. What's good, haplotype? Yeah, Wilder has more fans in the United States for sure. And honestly, man, I think he might have more fans, period, now. Because he's got half the cats in the UK rooting against Anthony Joshua, and he's got the vast majority of the boxing fans, heavyweight boxing fans in the US. So really, dude, yeah, they just spread out, I think. I think you're right. These numbers say that Deontay Wilder has more fans. Christian says Wilder, the new A side. He is in the States, but you know how they're going to try to paint it over there in the UK, man. See, this is what he should do. What's going on, man? You know what he should do? He should get with Frank Warren and fight somebody in the UK with Frank Warren. Wouldn't that be a bitch? Wouldn't that be crazy if Deontay Wilder was like, you know what? I'm going to go to the UK, but I'm not going to fight. I got a voluntary, but I'm going to go fight somebody in the UK on a Frank Warren card with Anthony Yard and Daniel Dubois on the undercard. And I'll help Frank Warren build Daniel Dubois. I'll let Daniel Dubois, yeah, exactly. He cries his fucking eyes out. That's exactly what Deontay Wilder should do. After he did that wonderful thing, yeah, he could fight Fury. He's with Warren. Yeah, he could. Well, I don't know if he signed yet, but that would be that would be a hell of a move. Be like, I'm coming to the UK, dog. I'm just not going to come to the UK with Sky Sports, and I'm not coming to the UK with Eddie Hearn. I'm coming over there with Frank Warren. So, and I'll take 2 fights in the same month and knock 2 bums spark out, as they say in the UK, and set up a fight with Tyson Fury. And just wait. But hey, Tyson Fury ain't no joke, dog. That's a tough one. But on the real, just get out of that lane over there in the UK. Go to the UK, man. But go to the UK and hang out with Frank Warren. Hang out over there. Eddie said Eddie would end up like fishnets in fishnets like De La Hoya. He'd make the fight the day after. That motherfucker would make the fight the day after. Oh, Fanon, Canelo just released a statement to the public a minute ago. Hey, man, I'll check it out. Let me try to go there to the boxing scene, man. Oh, Canelo and his doctor speak about it, huh? And Canelo says, I've always been a clean fighter, always will be. And Golovkin says, I look forward to headlining on Cinco de Mayo. Dude, every Mexican should boycott that damn fight with Gennady Golovkin. Gennady Golovkin gonna flop like a cake, like shit. Dude's gonna flop, man. Gennady Golovkin's been trying to taking advantage of that Mexican bullshit. The Mexicans ain't bullshit. I want to be very clear about this. He's been on that Mexican style nonsense. Dog, the Mexicans need to be like, look, I'll catch on Cinco de Mayo. I guess we just get to not watch boxing on Cinco de Mayo. I don't know why in the world they would support that. I bet you he does try to fight Gilberto Ramirez or somebody like that, man. But Mayweather should come and have a sparring session on Cinco de Mayo against Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. on Showtime. I bet they'll outsell him, dog. Canelo out. He's gonna flop like pancakes. He's gonna flop like pancakes, dog. Fuck about here, man. Stop trying to take advantage of these Mexican people, man. Trying to sell them a bill of goods. Brad Pearson. Canelo should have purchased all his meals at Quick Trip like the Mexicans in Atlanta. Hey, man, I ain't gonna go there. However, he definitely should be keeping his meats, buying meat. Oh, wow. He said he's been Mexican the whole time. All of a sudden, the meat is bad, and he ate it twice for 2 different tests. Nah, man. I mean, I can't say I buy it, man, but you know, it is what it is, homie. It is like my man Black Fight Fan TV said. It is what it is, bread, homie. It is what it is. Oh, he'll say we out, bread, homie. But it is what it is, dog. Chef Boy ID says pause. All right, I just paused. What's up? I'm just excited about these numbers, man, because it's just like one excuse after. I'm excited for the numbers for Deontay Wilder because his numbers went way up, and Anthony Joshua ain't put them numbers out since he got with after he got done with Klitschko. So we'll see. And I'm gonna look for this. What's going on in Cali Enigma? You see, we have to accept that AJ is afraid of Wilder. It's not Hearn, it's him. It's easy to point out Hearn because he's the mouthpiece, but it's AJ. Hey man, you know it's possible, the Cali Enigma, for it to be both of them, right? It is capable for it to be both. And I don't doubt. Oh man, Oscar's speech on Canelo was trash. Are y'all listening to that? Hey man, wake me up tomorrow morning when that bullshit's done. I ain't even trying to hear it, dog. Look, man, we'll see you in September. You know what I mean? Just be clean in September and understand the mud's already on the wall. You're not getting it off, man. You already peed in the soup. It's done. And people forever you throwing that shit in your face. And I'm a Canelo fan. I'm gonna tell you, man, you could. I don't know if I still have him up, man, but I made a bunch of videos about Canelo. Man, I'm a big Canelo fan, man. I think Canelo can fight. I like Canelo, but Canelo should be at 147. If Canelo's on that juice, Canelo should be down at 147 pounds, 154, 147 pounds, trying to keep himself in shape and, fight the 154 pounders, man. You know what I mean? But, hey, man, it is what it is. Oh, Cali Enigma, if AJ wanted to fight, we'd get it. I don't doubt that. Yeah, here's the thing, though, Cali. And I mean, here, man, I'm being, dog, I like you, man. You're my guy. If it goes both ways, if AJ wanted to fight, we'd get it. And if Eddie Hearn wanted it, we'd get it. It can be both. I don't doubt that Anthony Joshua, if somebody said Anthony Joshua was afraid, I'm not going to argue with you. You know what I mean? I'm not going to argue with you at all. If somebody said that Eddie Hearn doesn't want the fight, I'm not going to argue with that either. I believe that to be the truth. And matter of fact, I believe both. I believe that Anthony Joshua was a fraud just off what this cat from the UK sent me today. And I'm thinking, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do my video on this. But this dude looks sus. But because I got to do the video in a way where I don't use any copyrighted material from those guys. Because I really don't want to use, I don't want to use a recording of him. Because it's going to be hot, man. What he said in that interview with Dillian White was illustrative of what his mindset is, man. What he said was Dillian White in a press conference in 2015, leading into the fight between Dillian White and Anthony Joshua. And shout out to my man John Johnson, who sent it to me. Oh, Black Horseman Promotion says, oh, I'll let you know what he said. I'll let the whole thing out. What he said was this. This is how the conversation went Cali Enigma. He said, what's his name? Dillian White was like, look, and when we get into this fight, tell Eddie Hearn not to have those referees stop the fight after a couple little taps. And then Dillian White said, look, man, how many times has Anthony Joshua actually knocked somebody out? How many times has he knocked somebody out versus him landing 2 punches and the referee calling the fight off? And then Dillian White says, when I knock people out, I knock them out. They don't wake up. They don't wake up, but they're knocked out. They cannot get up. When Anthony Joshua knocks out people, it's because the referee stops the fight after he lands a couple fights. And this was after he lands a couple punches. And this was before that happened with Carlos Takam. Now, that's one thing. But the thing that Anthony Joshua said was this dude's in on it. He looks over at Dillian White and says, isn't that what it's about? That's why I'm filling up stadiums. because the fans like knockouts. But Dillian White had said, look, man, you're not really getting the knockouts. You just have the ref on your side, and they're stopping the fight because you touched him with a couple little tippy tap punches. But Anthony Joshua acted like that was the right thing to do because that's how he sells out stadiums, because the fans like knockouts. So I guess from somebody standing, in a 90,000 seat arena, somebody sitting way far back, see a couple tippy tap punches landing, that might look like hammers to them. And he's okay with the fight being stopped like that. So what I said is I'm gonna start looking at all his interviews and start seeing what other kind of suspect ass shit is this dude said, man. What other kind of suspect stuff has he said? Because in 1 week leading up into the Joseph Parker fight, he said that he was going to freeze out Deontay Wilder, and said that the dude couldn't get in the ring. So I'm like, hold on, man. 2 suspect ass comments in 1 week, and then my man from the UK sends me a tape, and I see something else that's super suspect. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to spend some time and really look through this dude's interviews. Like, go through that shit like in detail. It might take a couple weeks, but I'll fuck around and look at every single interview this dude has ever done in his career, look at every fight, look at every stoppage, and see, is this dude real? Now, I don't doubt that the dude has some talent, but there's some shady shit going on with this guy, man. Some straight up shady shit going on with this dude, man. Out of his mouth. And to the point that my man Cali Enigma says, I'm like, shoot, it is him, but it's also Eddie Hearn. It's both. Oh, my lady's in here, man. She says, my lady Sarah McOliver, AJ Illuminati slave drone clone. Hey, dude, he's full of shit. That's for damn sure. And now the numbers are out, dude. And I don't want to hear anything about. See, the excuse. This is what happens with frauds. Like, frauds are the exact opposite of dudes who are real. Dudes that are real, no matter what happens, they continue to move forward. Frauds start off big, and the further they go along, the more exposed they get. Fanon, how much credit does Wilder get for beating AJ? I don't know, man. I think he shouldn't get more credit for on the real, he gets more credit for beating Luis Ortiz. If you take all the hype out of it, he gets the most as far as all the boxers that are out right now. If he beat them, the most credit he would get is for beating Luis Ortiz. That's who I think it is, because I think Luis Ortiz is the best. Besides Tyson Fury, if Tyson Fury can come back and we can see what Tyson Fury does, and he's back to where he was, other than Tyson Fury, and maybe along with Tyson Fury, Victor Ortiz is the big boogeyman. He might get more credit for beating. I got to look at that Dillian White fight, man. Quite honestly, the Cali Enigma, Deontay Wilder would expose that chump as a fraud. He's not. He's not real. I guess you got to mean he's not real. He's a creation. It's looking more and more like that, man. And I got my man that told me to look at that Humphrey Bogart's last film and watch that. And I think I'm going to watch it, man. I'm enjoying this channel, man. And thank you to that dude in the UK, man. I'm going to tell you, I might not have been on this like this until I got a comment on a channel that a UK channel that told me that their whole mission was to destroy Deontay Wilder. That they were going to put out video after video and say whatever they had to say in order to destroy Deontay Wilder. Because I asked him, I'm like, what is this nonsense? What is this stuff you're saying? It doesn't make sense. I looked at your research. I checked your research. I went to everything that you went to. And then I followed it up. I went to the source. I counted the numbers. And your stuff doesn't pan out. And he came back to me with this really like pissed off attitude, dude, and saying that his whole purpose was to destroy Deontay Wilder. So I was like, okay, well, I'll try to keep you from doing that. It's good to know that there's somebody out there that wants to make videos and that wants to make sure that they create the impression that Deontay Wilder is a coward. He's a coward. Listen to all the things they say about this dude. He's a coward that's never fought anybody, that's bluffed his way to all the titles, and who nobody knows, who is ducking Dillian White. It's like ducking Dillian White, and now it's moved on from those five to he's got three managers, none of which talk to each other or like each other. His baby mama's sleeping with somebody. You know, his whatever. He paid Alexander Povetkin to pop dirty. He paid Luis Ortiz to pop dirty. He fights Luis Ortiz, but now all of a sudden Luis Ortiz was 90 years old. It just goes on and on and on and on. And I want to thank that dude because you know what, man? It made my channel a lot more fun. Because this way I get to actually read every article, and I get to go through what Eddie Hearn says in a detailed fashion. I get to go through what Anthony Joshua said in a detailed fashion. I can watch every single one of Deontay Wilder's fights. I can watch every one of Anthony Joshua's fights. I can read every news article within the last year that was written about either one of them. I can listen to when Eddie Hearn says one thing and then when he says something else. And then I'll just become, you know, the world's foremost expert on Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua bullshit. So that nobody can just jump up and say whatever the fuck they want to say. Because it's clear that they're trying to grow this dude into this. They're trying to create a Floyd Mayweather Jr. instead of letting it happen naturally. Whoever winds up being the man in boxing is the man that winds up there. But that should happen in the ring. It shouldn't happen outside the ring with a bunch of mechanisms and a bunch of slick talk and a bunch of set up, paid off referees and influence sanctioning bodies to make this guy, into something that he didn't earn by beating everybody. Now, if Anthony Joshua winds up beating everybody, then so be it. And I don't have any issue with that. But even when I listen to guys I got a lot of respect for the Mayweather gym. I'm sorry I haven't been in the comment section for a second. Even though I haven't, anyway, I'm sorry, I got off my deal. Haplotype, the fear and uneasiness is written all over Joshua's face. That's because they got a plan. I mean, they even got corny, man. You know how guys think they're smart? Like, he walks out to this music that says, American music, by the way, and says, thinking of a master plan. Thinking of a master plan. Eric B. and Rakim. Thinking of a master plan. The album is paid in full. I'm like, yeah, I got your master plan. You got an 8-fight plan, a 4-year plan. You're trying to get Anthony Joshua built up. You're trying to get him built up and trying to get as much money as you can get out of the UK. And then you're trying to take him over to Vegas and go ahead and get that $200 million payday. We know the game plan. We know the game plan. How in the world can we know the master plan? How in the world can you possibly justify trying to fight Jarrell Miller? And I don't care what people said in this last article. Like I said, I've been reading all the articles. The reason that the first mention of Jarrell Miller was as Anthony Joshua's entree into the American market. And you cats in the UK can say what you want. You're a little itty bitty pond compared to the money in boxing in the United States. And bump what Anthony Joshua's getting, because I don't, if I believe that Anthony Joshua's getting what they publicize, because I've not seen the receipts that say what his money is. I keep hearing the rumors about how much money he's made. I haven't actually seen a slip of paper that says what his purse was. All I hear is what it's rumored to be. What it's rumored to be. I know how much what the purse of Andre Ward was, or excuse me, I know how much Vasily Lomachenko's purse was against Rigondeaux, because when they fought in New York, they publicized the purse on a piece of paper, and I still have the PDF on my computer. I've yet to see the PDF that says 8 million pounds for Anthony Joshua. We're just going off what they say. We're just going off what they say. What they're telling us those numbers are. But why would you entertain a fight with Jarrell Miller in the same auditorium that Deontay Wilder fought Luis Ortiz in? Why would you even entertain that fight? If you're earning that much money in the UK, why would you even think about fighting Jarrell Miller in Brooklyn? That doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense that they would even consider it if what they're saying is true. If they're blowing smoke up people's backsides, that makes sense. Oh, Malik Omar said it's all right to disagree, my brother. Oh, it is. All day and night it is, as long as we polite to one another. Hey, Mr. Ballroom Beats. Ballroom Beats, huh? You're not making any sense. Yeah, I think I am. You might not agree, but I'm making perfect sense, Holmes. I'm making perfect sense. Why would you come to the United States to fight a second-tier heavyweight with very limited popularity in New York City if you're making much more money fighting in the UK? Why would you? That's not a reasonable question. I think it's a reasonable question, man. Oh, I am. I know I am. SJ Fish, what's going on? What sense does that make? If he doesn't, if Jarrell Miller's going to fight over in the UK, then okay, no issue. But if he comes over here to fight Jarrell Miller, he's full of shit. And everything's exposed. If he comes over and fights Jarrell Miller in Brooklyn, it's a fucking wrap. No, Cali Enigma, watch. If he comes over and fights Jarrell Miller in Brooklyn, you don't believe any numbers you see coming out of the UK as far as what he's getting paid. Don't believe it. And you can take seriously what Anthony Joshua said about, can I get a bonus? See, I did that video where I said money problems because I tend to take seriously what people say. I take serious what you say. If you walk up to me and you say, you know what? I'll shoot you if you keep talking crazy. You would be ridiculous not to be like, what? Why would that even enter into your mind? And then I'm going to treat you as if what you say is true and you mean it. You could be joking, but I'm going to treat it like it's serious. When Anthony Joshua, when Eddie Hearn says we've been overpaying people for the last 21 fights, and Anthony Joshua says, hey, man, what if I put myself in the position now to be in the driver's seat in the negotiations? Can I get a bonus? Can I get a pat on the back? I think to myself, okay, why is he saying that? That's not what Floyd says. Floyd says, look, man, I'm making more money than God over here, dude. My money is sick. My money is ridiculous. I'm going to buy a $60 million jet next week. I got money made. I've not seen Anthony Joshua say that. What I heard Anthony Joshua says is, can I get a bonus? I've worked very hard to get myself into the position that I am now when I can be in the head of the negotiation table. Not I've gotten myself into the situation where I can have $30-40 million. And quiet as kept, dude. And I'm going to do an interview on this channel soon. with a guy who is a really good friend of me, a really good friend of mine, who's an agent for a very, very well-known director. And whenever I would talk to him, I would be like, damn, man, you making money hand over fist. Dude's making money hand over fist. God dang, what's that like? And man, every time he'd be like, man, don't believe the money. Don't believe what they're saying, man. The money's not what they're saying the money is. They're using that money as a marketing ploy. The money's not what it is. It's good money, but it's not like that, man. It's not like that. And he's under a fiduciary duty. He's not going to tell me what it is. But he's like, man, don't believe the hype, dog. And I don't believe anything that comes out of the mouth of Eddie Hearn because he lies too much. Why would I ever believe him, dude? He lies so much that I don't believe anything comes out of his mouth, including the money. And so, and it'll all be proven if he tries to come over if he tries to come over here and fight Jarrell Miller in Brooklyn, it's bullshit. All the money's bullshit. Stop. Because he ain't going to take no $5-10 million. He's not going to take a $5 million pay cut just to prove he's worthy in the US market. I don't believe it. It doesn't make sense. Why would he do it? Bo one, shout out in the super chat. First, Wilder wasn't recognized enough when he's asking for too much money. Now AJ is getting underpaid. Man, please. Exactly. Now, see, the thing that people said when I did that underpaid thing, Marcus, let me read Marcus Johnson. Fanon, the most money to be made is here in the U.S. But the truth is that Hearn and AJ don't want that fight because the gig is up. Oh, without a doubt, man. I mean, I believe so. I won't say without a doubt. I mean, but come on, man. We know, dude. You know, Hearn's an economic gangster. Eddie, that's John Johnson. That's my dude. One of my favorite new subscribers, man, or newscat that's been coming to the comment section is John Johnson. Eddie has been manipulating the fans for so long. Man, dude, you can't believe anything comes out his mouth. You can't believe, and I wouldn't just say that about him. I would advise that for you to anybody you catch in a lie. Any dude, and I'm not talking about a little fib. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about somebody that exaggerates, but I'm talking about people that come out flat out lying. Flat out lying. Dude, if they will lie to you about simple things that are in your face, dude. Simple things that are in your face, like Deontay Wilder. We don't believe Deontay Wilder wants to fight. That's what we want Jarrell Miller. Are you kidding me? And then he said something like Al Heyman. This is what he said today. Well, in the my man Cal Oxen sent me Cal Oxen sent me hey, what's going on, Gregory Wyatt? Troll Hunter reporting for duty, man. Much love out there, man. So, Doug, look, what this dude said today that Cal Oxen sent me, he said that, you know, the fight could be made, but, you know, you got 3 managers over there with Deontay Wilder, and it doesn't make any sense. You don't know who to talk to. It's Eddie. Al Heyman is saying he can't speak to Shelly Finkel. Shelly Finkel saying he can't speak to Daryl Eady, Dave Eads. I don't remember the guy's name exactly. Forgive me if the man listens. No disrespect. It's just that I can't remember the name, right? Oh, you know, but all these people can't talk to each other. In order to make the fight, we just can't figure it out. Okay, then how the hell did he just make a fight how did he just make a fight with Victor Ortiz? If there was that much commotion going on in their fight, if they can make a fight with a fight that's that much smaller with Victor Ortiz, why wouldn't they be able to get together? Because if they're all managers, they're all going to get paid. Why wouldn't they be able to work out a fight with Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua? That's the first time you've ever heard of that, of Al Heyman being petty and being in a squabble, the advisor. And I don't think Anthony not quite as kept, but I don't think that Al Heyman is Deontay Wilder's manager. I think he's an advisor. not a manager. And it is reasonable to have a business manager and a personal manager. That's not unusual at all. If you think that Eddie Hearn is the only person that's working with Anthony Joshua, like Eddie Hearn's doing all the marketing, doing negotiating there's only so many hours in a day, man. Eddie Hearn is not negotiating the dude's sponsorships, negotiating the guys, keeping his personal schedule, keeping his speaking engagements, negotiating, keeping his personal finances. You think, man, Eddie Hearn ain't got the time to do all that. Anthony Joshua's got more than one manner, dog. More than one manager. I'm sorry, but my man, Denar Reed says, scroll up. Let me move up. Sorry, man. Shout out again, Gregory Taylor, as I scroll up. Right, Bo one. Okay. All right. I'm trying to go to Denard Reed. Oh, Fanon, AJ comes over. They're gonna boom out of the building. Hey, man, they need to. If he comes over, they need to just have a boo fest. It needs to be a boo factory, dog. That's all these boo, 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 boo. Emperor Aziz, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce. Yo, just saw the ratings video. You posted who? A-side who? In the United States, he ain't A-side. He's B-side like a motherfucker in the United States. Believe it. Anthony Joshua is super B-side in the United States. Where the money is, he's the B-side. And he's the A-side when there ain't no money. In the little pond, he's the A-side. In the big pond, he's the B-side. Just saying. Because ain't nobody giving a shit about Anthony Joshua over here, man. We all know Al Heyman is a promoter hiding from the Ali Act. No, he's not. I don't know that. He has a promoter on every fight, a recognized promoter. He's a platform is what he is. He's not a promoter. He's a platform. It's a subtle difference, but it's real. Let me go on back, man. Reports and rumors. Oh, Bo one. Reports and rumors and Eddie Hearn don't mean nothing. I look at Joshua's body language after that fight. That man don't want no parts of Wilder. Yeah, I mean, I would hope that he would go ahead and get in there and make that fight happen, man. I think he's trying to cash out. That's my thing, man. I think Big Femi. Oh, man, my dude. Cali Enigma was calling him Big Effeminate. Big Effeminate ain't trying to, he's trying to get that money, man. Cali Enigma, AJ is irrelevant over here. That's a fact. He is. Now that I agree with, without a doubt, Cali Enigma. Without a doubt, that dude is irrelevant over here. Hey man, it's not looking good over here. Over there, that's what I'm saying. If he stays over there and that's where he's fighting, then all that stuff makes sense. But on the real, the second he comes over to the UK, from the UK to the United States and fights in and fights in the Barclays Center against Jarrell Miller, because you got to think, man, it's not only how much money. If you can fill out a 90,000 seat arena and fight in the UK, do 1 million pay-per-views, make all that money, why would you take one step away from here to lose money? All that money, what's the opportunity cost associated with coming to the Barclays Center and fighting Jarrell Miller? Now, if he fights Jarrell Miller over there, then he fights Jarrell Miller over there. But I don't know why would he even want to fight Jarrell Miller over there? You know what I mean? Why would he even want to do that, dude? You know what I mean? Why would he want to do that? You know what I mean? Why would he want to do that? He can fight anybody over there and get that money. Why Jarrell Miller? He's not super popular in the U.S. Oh, Hiram Lopez. Hey, man, shout out in the super chat again there, Cali Enigma and Hiram Lopez. Eddie is definitely cut from the same cloth as Aaron, pathological liar. Oh, yeah, man. They lie. They don't care, man. They do not care, man. Not even a little bit, Holmes. They don't care not a little bit about lying. It's almost like they like it. It's almost like they like it. Like, ooh, what kind of lie can I tell today? I bet you. Let me see. What can we make up? I mean, who helps them with their lie? Do they got like a lie consultant? Or are they just like just natural with it like that. They definitely market. I mean, they definitely got a marketing department because they got trolls. They got like bot trolls on internet. I'm convinced that they got bot trolls because at the day at, but they can only afford them, and they only do them like the day after Anthony Joshua fights. Then you get these multiple messages where it's the same message, but under a different name that come to your videos the day after the fight. But then they don't happen after that. So I'm figuring it's kind of like, you know how you have like the day before or a couple days before an election, you get a bunch of robocalls. I'm thinking that they got the ability to do like robo trolling. Because I was like, hold on, man, this is the exact same comment from 3 different people. I mean, word for word, the same one. I'm like, yeah, come on, man, get up out of here, man. Oh, I finally found my spot, family. What's that, man? Okay, it's Bo One. My man Bo One be supporting, dog. Cali Nigma, AJ knows he has to come here to become a billionaire. The problem is if they come, they will be pressured facing Wilder. I don't think he can become a billionaire, man. I think that's some shit laid out there. I don't understand. I don't see how he can do it. He's got Eddie Hearn with him. You're not going to become a billionaire with somebody else taking 30% of your money, dude. How's that going to work? Alan Sessions, man, what's good, my man? Shout out in the super chat. He said, I hope AJ and Wilder clash in December 26, 2018, English Boxing Day. Then AJ can try to get his belt back 6 months later. Hey, man, I like when people leave those things, man, and he changed directions. And I'm like, oh, damn, he got me. I didn't see that last sentence coming, man. Very, very, very intelligent post there, man. I really like that. Thank you so much, sir. And thanks for the shot. Thanks for supporting the super chat, man. Oh, man, I have so much fun doing these super chats. Not super chats. Super chats are cool for sure. Now, I love super chats. No worry about it because we're working trying to take care of this cause. So I do love the super chats. But what I meant to say was that I really, really, really love these live streams because you get to interact on a real basis. Thank you. On a real-time basis. Thank you guys so much for showing up. I really appreciate it. It's so much more fun than just doing a video where, you're staring at the wall with your thoughts, just you and your thoughts. Shalom, Mark. Sharalambos Mark. What's good, my man? You know I've seen you a million times. I just want to make sure I slow down enough to pronounce your name correctly. Do you think they're saving Joshua for Fury? Then eventually Daniel Dubois? I don't know, man. I think they would be smart to rush Tyson Fury because, man, Anthony Joshua's not beating Tyson Fury. People can stop that. I can say that I don't know who's going to win between Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua because there's a chance that Deontay Wilder can come in there kind of wild, maybe come in there wild, swinging after he hurts him, come in there and get caught by that uppercut, right? That's where I could see that left hook coming in after he hurts Anthony Joshua. I don't see Deontay Wilder having much trouble with Anthony Joshua unless he hurts Anthony Joshua and Anthony Joshua catches him on the way in. Anthony Joshua is too tentative to really cause Deontay Wilder any problems because if he comes forward, dude's going to get hit. But Tyson Fury, I don't see any issue. I'm just going to be real. I don't see any issue. I don't think there's anything that Anthony Joshua can do with Tyson Fury. Nothing. Nada. Not a thing. I think that he might just clown him. He might put his hands behind his back. If he's in shape, he's going to switch. He's going to hit him orthodox, fuck around, hit him southpaw, put his hands behind his back, stick his tongue out, slap him. It's just too much, dog. Number one, he's too big. He's too athletic. He's too unorthodox. He can fight southpaw. He can fight orthodox. He's strong enough to hold him. He's bigger than Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua trying to hold his hands out and do that Klitschko act where he holds a stiff jab out, you know what I mean? And then tries to clinch or hit with just 1-2, that mode. You know what I mean? That's not going to work with Tyson Fury, man. Tyson Fury is going to embarrass him, man. So I can't imagine that they're going to hold off on that. To me, and I could be wrong, but to me, if if Tyson Fury's in his best shape and he's where he was before, that's not even a close fight between him and Anthony Joshua. That's just a whooping. It's just a humiliating loss. It's a humiliating loss for Anthony Joshua. I don't think he's on the same level as Tyson Fury. In talent, in skill, in mentality, there's just nothing about him that I think is on the same level. Size, you know what I mean? It's just now Deontay Wilder, because I have to admit that he has some technical issues, not issues, but he relies on his athleticism, his power, his speed, that there's a chance that Anthony Joshua can catch him, similar to the way that Luis Ortiz caught him. And maybe Anthony Joshua can do something to finish him. I don't think that would be the case, but at least I can see it. But Tyson Fury, I don't see any of that. I just see a humiliating ass whooping. And quite honestly, I see damn near the same thing from Hughie Fury and Anthony Joshua. I don't see him beating Hughie Fury. And the Hughie Fury that fought Joseph Parker, I don't see him beating him. I think and honestly, it might be an easy fight for Hughie Fury. Anthony Joshua's just too straight up and down, man. He's too straight up and down. That's how I see it, man. Like I said, I could be wrong, man. I could be 100% wrong. I'm just trying to tell you, like Black Horseman Promotion says, Wilder has that eraser. They can just, when you get hit, you're going to go to sleep. So the question is, when is it exactly going to be? If and when is he going to hit him? Ash Kicking Products, man, I owe you an email. I think I sent it. If I didn't, I admit to send it today. Fanon, Thurman versus Porter had 3.1 million views. AJ versus Brazil did 289. Both fights on 6/25/16. Tell me again how AJ is a big star. He's not a big star in the United States, man. He's not. In the biggest pond, in the biggest pool that matters. This is the best way to put that, Ash Kicking. Anthony Joshua is better known than Deontay Wilder is more popular in Deontay Wilder in his hometown. But in the United States, where all the money is, Wilder is better known than him and more popular than him. And I'm starting not to believe that money that they're spitting out of the UK. I'm starting to think that shit's I'm starting to think that's a hype job, because it never made sense to me that you would pay $20 million in purses or 20 million pounds in purses on a bout that might have done 45 million pounds altogether. There's no way that's going to happen and that fight not take a loss. I mean, maybe there is. I don't see it. It just seems to me that, and then you put on top of that Eddie Hearn lying out the side of his ass every other sentence. Forgive my language. I'm sorry. Lying out his backside every other sentence. I don't believe him, man. I don't believe him. Hey, what's going on? Hey. 79 cents, dog. That's $1 in the US, dog. Don't think I don't know how to round up, homie. What's going on, Cow X Lopez? Dog, in euros, I know that's $1 even, man. You trying to test my IQ? I'm fairly decent with it, my brother. Thank you, sir. Cow X Lopez, Bogart film, The Harder They Fall. Hype job that looks the part and becomes champ until he meets the true champ, based on Primo Carnera and Max Baer. No doubt about it, man. Like I was trying to say that earlier on in the video, man, where you hit me to that. I'm definitely gonna have to check that out and watch that, man. I don't know if you were in the chat earlier when I said, man, I'm gonna make sure that I do that. I actually got to write that down. The harder they fall. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. Yeah. Fanon, yeah, you right. 20 million per fight does sound fishy. I mean, you're paying $20 million between the two, 20 million pounds between the two. That's like 50% of it, man. And that's not even, I mean, that's just revenue. You know what I mean? Where you have like, that's the whole thing. That's not the pay-per-view, which by the way, in the UK, that's really not pay-per-view. I mean, our pay-per-view numbers would go through the roof if you could get pay-per-view for $17. God dog, could you imagine how many views? Nobody would have to have fight parties. You could get it in your own house because it's 1/3 the price. Man, they got great deals over there in the UK, man. And their government, they're not big on letting you price gouge people, man. I do appreciate that about them. But your boy's looking suspect, more and more suspect every day, man. More and more suspect every day. Let me see. Fanon, I don't see Joshua getting off the canvas after he takes his bomb squad. Definitely not, man. He ain't. If he does, he gonna be getting up there to some mo. I mean, like you say, some mo. Like Luis Ortiz got up off the floor twice. He didn't get up off there the third time, no. You know what I mean? He got up there third. He didn't get there. He didn't get there. He didn't get there the third. He got up there twice. He didn't get up the third time. Bo one, I'm under the impression that Wilder is more known in the UK than Anthony Joshua is here. Oh, without a doubt. Because Anthony Joshua admitted that. He said Anthony Joshua said that Deontay Wilder is more popular in the UK than he is in the United States because of us. And what I said was, my response to that is you can stop everything after because. He's popular in the UK. We'll leave that there. You can say he's more popular in the UK than he is in the United States. In order for him to be more popular anywhere, he has to be popular. So you saying he's popular. And then you say because. And I don't give a shit about whatever happens after because. He is popular in the UK. And I know that he's popular in the UK because I have a whole bunch of people from the UK subscribing to my channel, coming to live streams, telling me that he's popular in the UK. And then Anthony Joshua, and I might be paraphrasing you guys, I'm sorry if I'm incorrect, is a fan of a bunch of yuppies. A bunch of yuppies that want to go, they want to have drinks at the fight or whatever, and they're selling to that crowd, and that's the crowd that they're getting. But I know dang well, I've seen some real gritty cats talking about nah, dog. He is not he's very well known in the UK. He's not tremendously popular. But that's what happens, man. That's human nature here, man. Bo one says, real talk, bro. I'm just telling you what I've heard, man. This is real talk, man. Company men aren't popular anywhere in any black community anywhere in the world. It's just like people that do these videos saying that there's no RACISM in the UK. I'm like, man, it's planet Earth. What are you talking about? I speak English. This is a British colony. That's what the United States is. It's a British colony. We're formed on British racism. Sorry to say it. That's what the country was developed on, was that. You know what I mean? That's what we are. I speak English. I can go to the UK with a little bit of an accent and I can live perfectly well because I'll understand what everybody says and they'll understand what I say. They might not like my accent. They might know that I'm not from there, but still, come on, man. This is sister countries. New York is New York. 13 colonies, exactly. It is what it started as, and the people it started it are where you are. Queen Elizabeth did not have any issues with snatching up a couple million people up out of Africa and shipping them over here, dude. So don't give me that shit. So, and I also hear same thing, man. Public Enemy is popular in the UK, man. And it ain't because of the beats, it's because of the message. And it's in Jamaica, it's in Africa, it's everywhere. It's everywhere throughout the diaspora. Nobody, even though you could be cool, nobody likes a company man. Nobody likes the one that shucks and jives. No one likes the one that's smiling. You know, no one really likes the guy in the white tennis shorts who's standing next to Andy Murray, skinning and grinning with a dude like Eddie Hearn, acting like he owns him. Don't tell me that they like that over in the UK, dog. That's not human nature. That's not human nature. Some of you cats in the UK don't like that dude. And you might like him where you're from. And you could say, hey, man, dude could be like, hey, man, you know, I know him. He's from where I'm from. I know he's a real dude. But nobody likes that. That is universally unpopular. Everywhere you go, it's universally unpopular. So when you have somebody that isn't acting like that, when you got somebody that is willing to say, and I'm going to tell you the thing that I think that would probably make Deontay Wilder tremendously popular in the UK is when he said, man, Anthony Joshua, Eddie Hearn's just another dude trying to milk a black man. When he said that, you cannot tell me that those cats in the ghetto, in Great Britain didn't hear that, man. And we're like, you damn right. Because Eddie Hearn ain't jack shit, but one of them rich ass country club dudes making a whole bunch of money off of people, man. You can't tell me that's been like that for what, 400 years? You've had house Negroes and field Negroes for a long ass time, dude. And whenever you fit the bill, dog, people are gonna look at you and think you funny, and you're gonna lose your base. Deontay Wilder, when Deontay Wilder likes that, he's going to endear himself to the base. And you just can't make it. It's not going to be any different than that. And you can say it's different. Who do you think? Now, this is funny, man. Who do you think most black people really like? Like, were most loved by? Martin Luther King or Malcolm X? Most people would say, we respect Martin Luther King. We love Malcolm X. We respect Martin Luther King, and we appreciate Martin Luther King. And Martin Luther King was an eloquent speaker, and he was a dude that needs to be respected. He deserves a holiday. He's a man that gave his life for what he believes. But we love Malcolm X. Who do you think is more popular? The guy in the 1968 Olympics, in 1968, the guy that was waving the American flag like George Foreman? Or the guy who wouldn't go on the draft, or the draft dodger Muhammad Ali? Without a doubt, it's Muhammad Ali. You can't sell your way. You can't sell your way out of that, man. That's what the community is. And it's like that everywhere. It's like that in Australia. It's like that in Great Britain. It's like that in Jamaica. It's like that in Canada. It's like that in Chicago. It's like that in LA. It's like that in New York. It's like that in Miami. It's like that everywhere. Nobody likes that type of dude. And the second you behave like that is the second that you lose all your gusto. All of it. And you can track it down through, and it's nothing personal against Anthony Joshua, but that's just what it really is. That's what it really is, dude. Marcus Garvey. That's who is that is the person. No, Martin Luther King did not fix anything. Martin Luther King didn't fix anything because the problem's still here. It ain't fixed. Ain't nobody ever fixed anything because the problem's still here. If Martin Luther King had fixed the problem, you would not have what's the little dude's name? You wouldn't have Tamir Rice if Martin Luther King fixed the problem. Martin Luther King did everything he could do, and he did a lot more than most. And he gave all he could, but he didn't fix the problem because the problem's still here. And that's just real. I'm not trying to make that. I'm not making it up. That's just here. And I got a lot of respect for dude. I don't think anybody could ever criticize him. He gave his life. Medgar Evers gave his life. There's nothing you can say about him. There's nothing you can say about him. At the same time, though, At the same time, getting back to boxing, that's Anthony Joshua's problem. That's why he'll never be as popular. Yeah, those, and they love AJ, and AJ is trying to sell himself to him, but AJ will lose his own people. Can't have it both ways, dude. That's just how it is in this unfortunate situation called life. It is what it is, dog. You know what I mean? Bob Marley was pretty effective through life and music. Yeah, without a doubt. Let me make sure Ali King was in the process of fixing the pop. I could do a 2-hour speech on King. You know how old Martin Luther King was when he died? Blitz. I'll wait on it. You know how old he was when he died? No, you wouldn't. Michael, no, you wouldn't. He's 39. No, you wouldn't. Because what you got to understand is, Michael, that the whole civil rights, it wasn't about drinking out of the same fountain as people. That wasn't what the issue was about. The issue was about equal education and getting popular funding for schools so that people could educate themselves. That's what it was about. That's what Brown versus the Board of Education was about. Education. It wasn't about water fountains. It was about education. That's why the shit's called the Board of Education. It was about education. It was about equal funding in education. It was about being able to have the equal amount of money dedicated to the infrastructure that was already in place. It was never about drinking at water fountains. They got sidetracked. Similar, and here I'll give you an example of this. Do you know what the Me Too movement is? And I'll wait. What's the Me Too movement about? What's the Me Too movement about? And I hear all this. What's the Me Too movement about? What it was about was getting funding. I'll answer the question. It was about getting funding for people who had experienced rape, who had been sexual assault. That's what it was about. It's by black women in Alabama. That was the Me Too movement. But you know what it is about now? It's about speaking your truth. It's about Hollywood actresses speaking their truth. It's not about getting women who have more than enough money to go get their own counseling. It's about equal pay for millionaires. That's what they're using it for. But what it was about was something legitimate. If you have a woman that's been hurt, who's been harmed, who doesn't have a place to live, whose children, who have to stay away from the husband who was abusive, getting them monetary funding. And it switched from that to Rose McGowan getting a job on Rose McGowan telling her truth. Come on, man. Just be real about it, man. But anyway, I ain't the purpose of this, man. I don't want to do too much of this. This is the boxing channel. I'm gonna wind up having to delete this video. But that's the essence of AJ's problem and why he'll never be popular, and why he is turning so many people off. And in the United States, he's never going to fly. It's already too late. It's already too late in the United States. Yeah, Mike Weir said he's trying to get. That's what it is. It went from dealing with little women in Alabama who ain't got anywhere to live with their kids to making a chick who's a blatant racist be able to get a job and sue her boss who was a racist and a sexist. It's about racist. It's about a female racist selling, being able to sue a racist and a sexist. It's a joke, man. For now, would you say that Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua are polar opposites, consider they're from different countries? No, I think that they're the same. I don't see them different. I don't see them much different at all. They're both two cats who are boxers trying to get ahead, man. And who, like 78 Sports TV said, destiny might be bringing them together, man. History doesn't repeat itself. I say this a lot, but history doesn't repeat itself, but they damn sure rhyme. You can't build up one without somebody coming up with you. That's just the way boxing works. That's the way life. You cannot be your own single. You cannot have one guy that sits above everybody else and not have a challenge that he's going to have to face. And quite honestly, Anthony Joshua's challenge might be Tyson Fury. It might be Deontay Wilder. But it is Eddie Hearn caring more about Eddie Hearn and Eddie Hearn's balance sheets than it is about, seeing who the best fighter in the world is. And that's the case because that's what he always talks about. He talks about popularity. He talks about A-side. He talks about managerial stuff. I mean, even in his lies, he's stuck talking about the things that are important to him. It's all about the money. It's who sells the most seats. It's who has the biggest pay-per-view. It's how much money you make. And hey, man, I'll make the fight, but they got to sign with me because I need to get paid on all their fights. But that's my take on it, man. Oh, let me go back to this. Hey, Bo One, my man. Man, shout out in the super chat as always, man. Miko, what's good, man? Appreciate you in the super chat, man. Oh, Kelly C says, Fanon, you educating people on their history, you should definitely leave this up. I mean, you got to be careful, man. I mean, I'm not really trying. I mean, this is a boxing channel. But, if cats want to talk crazy, I'm going to tell you what I think. And I don't think this about Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, just because I don't like that young man. He's a kid to me. I mean, Anthony Joshua might be a rich kid, but he's still a kid. What is he, 28 years old? He's a 28-year-old kid dealing with an organization that's been around probably since before he was born. And people that have been around the block that know perfectly well how to build him up and how to cash him out. But hey, man, don't listen to me. I'll see you post-mortem. You know what I mean? I'll see you post-mortem. They sell more seats because there's less going on in the UK and a more concentrated population. Yeah, but who cares? Yeah, and on the top of it is who cares? Who cares who sells more? Who's the better fighter? Who's the better fighter? I mean, I'm not. And if I watch the fight, I'd rather, if I was personally watching the fight, I would love it if there was nobody else in there but me. I'd be like, I'm sitting right here for this great fight. I saw a Winky Wright fight against, I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was Edison Miranda. I know it's probably the wrong name, but I saw Winky Wright. It was on the undercard of, I think it was on the undercard of the Roy Jones Jr. fight. I think that I saw Winky Wright in Vegas fighting somebody, and I was like right on ringside because I had nosebleed seats, but nobody sat in the front. And I went all the way down, and I sat right in the front until, all the dignitaries and the people who really don't care about boxing, showed up, and then you got to, go back to your seat. But, you can get down there when they're not there for the prelims, and nobody bugs you. So I was sitting there ringside watching Winky Wright, and I loved it. Best fight I ever saw because I was right there watching Winky Wright do his thing, man. Anyway, man, it is what it is, man. Hey, Lewis Coleman, listen, man, they putting AJ in the house nigger and Wilder in the fig nigger. AJ is clean cut black man, but Wilder's a loudmouth brother, bull, straight bull, but that's their agenda. Yeah, I mean, I think they can recognize it and then they can move forward. But honestly, man, I think those things kind of build themselves. Those guys are who they are. You know what I mean? They are who they are. Trap media, Afanon, majority of sports fans are into NBA, NFL, and Major League Baseball in the U.S. because that's where the majority of the elite athletes go. This isn't the old ways when boxing was number one. But boxing is still the number one individual sport. It's still, unless Tiger Woods comes back and wins the majors, boxing will still be the number one individual sport. Those are team sports, so I know I can divide it, but there's no athlete that gets bigger than a boxer when they get big. It's just very top heavy. You know what I mean? Because everybody will be focused on you. You know what I mean? And it's not like a team where you can trade. You know, like Floyd Mayweather can't trade himself over to, you know, Deontay Wilder can't trade himself over to become Anthony Joshua. It's a one-man sport, man. Fanon, do you think that Hearn and Joshua agreed to Hearn's 60-40 split and then go to the UK to knock him out in front of his fans? Because we all know Wilder doesn't around, he will go. I'll see it when I believe it, man. I'll believe it when I see it. What's going on, Akabin? Said, Fanon, did you miss Rio Amon Fionan's question? Do you think Big Baby Miller's O can be bought if he fights Joshua? Oh, I'm sorry. Rio Amon, do you think Big Baby Miller's O can be bought if he fights Joshua? No, I do not. Now, if you mean bought, like you can buy a ref that won't let him fight, yes. If it's in the UK, do you think you can maybe buy a ref, buy a judge or two judges? Yeah, that could happen. Do I think Big Baby Miller will throw in it? No. I think Big Baby Miller come to fight. I think Big Baby Miller come to fight. I wouldn't see Jarrell Miller doing that. You know what I mean? But with the ref, like the ref in that last fight, I mean, it's hard for me to believe that he wasn't instructed to do that. He was too consistent with it. He was too purposeful with it. It was just anytime they ever got close, he tried to make sure. It looked like he was trying to make sure that Joseph Parker could not make it an ugly fight. So I don't think Big Baby Miller would do that. But could they play games? I wouldn't doubt it, man. Not at all. Gregory Wright, historically, there's always been a degree of tribalism in boxing. Yeah, I wouldn't agree with that. What's going on, Chi-Town Guru? My man, what's going on? My man, 100 grand. Christian says, quick out of topic question. Do you think Chavez Jr. at 130, senior at 130, 135 gives Mayweather problems? I think Mayweather beats him. At 130, I think he beats him. Problems, he could give him some problems, but not enough to beat him. I think Mayweather wins at that. Hey, you guys got to talk amongst yourselves for 1 second. I'm sorry I keep doing this. I got my wife. All right, guys, I got to wrap this up. That was the wifey. And the wifey says she needs me to come get her. So I got to make that happen. Let me get a couple more questions. Akabin, explain Joe Louis of all the U.S. was behind him. However, it was wartime. Yeah, and then they jobbed him right after that. Hey, the IRS didn't let him off the hook. Asked him for all that money. Chamberlain's Mark Fanon, I'm not sure if Joshua can beat Big Baby Miller. From the look of the last fight, I mean, it'll be tough. I just wasn't very impressed with him, man. I just got to be for real, man. I wasn't very impressed with him. But, it is what it is, man. Chi-Town Guru, Fanon. Oh, we'd agree. AJ Parker ref, Duco signed off on the ref for the fight. I don't know if that really means anything. They agreed to the ref, but that is, I mean, I don't know what that means. But once he got in the ring, he could have agreed to it. But when he got in the ring, he acted a fool. You know what I mean? So, I mean, the fact that they agreed to it doesn't mean that the guy gets excused for whatever he does. You know what I mean? Shoot, if Anthony Joshua just hit him in the nuts 10 times, you can't use that excuse. Be like, well, he did agree to fight Anthony Joshua. So, yeah, I know Anthony Joshua hit him in the nuts, and elbowed him behind the head. But hey, man, he signed up for it. He agreed to fight. So, you agree to a ref that you think is reasonable, but then they act a damn fool, you know what I mean, and start taking away points and doing all kind of other shit. That doesn't mean that you just agreed to whatever they did. You know what I mean? The referee has to do a job. I mean, I'm not sure what they could have done. I mean, to be like, it's not like they, you know what I mean? I mean, I think I got that point down there, man. We'd agree it was a disadvantage for both fighters. I'm not sure if it was, but maybe it was. I mean, I'm not going to argue with you, man, about that. It is what it is now, man. I mean, that's water under the bridge. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, if you feel it was a disadvantage for both fighters, I mean, that's cool. That's all good. Chi-Town Guru, I love the channel, bro. Great work. Have a safe drive, my brother. Smash the like button. Yeah, man, we got a 94 people hit this like button, man. It would be much appreciated. But, real quick, man. Oh, I see that note. I'm not going to say that out loud, Michael. But, man, much appreciated. I appreciate the work, man. I appreciate the people that come to the channel. Akabin says, do you think they need a ref if AJ they definitely need a ref, a different. Yeah, Sal, I see that, man. He'll be back though, and rich as hell. And man, he'll be back in September. That's my thought. I mean, they couldn't let him. They couldn't let it go. They got to do that, man. I'm a fan. I'm a Canelo fan, man. I'm all the way out the closet, dog. Like, I hate the fact that it looks like he cheated, or people can make that argument about him, man. But I like Canelo. I'm a Canelo fan. I support Canelo. Man, I love watching him fight. I love his inside game. I love his skill set. So for me, the whole thing with Canelo was sad. And hopefully it was a mistake. But I understand I understand where they're coming from. So anyway, with that, I got to go get my wife. I got to get my baby girl. And with that, I'm out. Peace. Shout out to everybody, man. We'll be back tomorrow. Peace.